بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ومولانا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد عن أبي سفيان صخر بن حرب رضي الله عنه في حديثه الطويل في قصة هرقل قال هرقل فماذا يأمركم يعني النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال أبو سفيان قلت يقول اعبدوا الله وحده لا تشركوا به شيئا واتركوا ما يقول آباؤكم ويأمرون بالصلاة والصدق والعفاف والصلة متفق عليه. Abu Sufyan radiallahu anhu narrates as part of a statement about Hercules that the latter asked him, what does he, meaning Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, teach you? Abu Sufyan replied, he tells us to worship Allah alone and do not associate anything with Him and discard all that your ancestors, forefathers had ordered you, and he commands us to observe prayer, to speak the truth, to be chaste, and to strengthen the ties of kinship by helping those who are related to you. We are into the 4th chapter of Riyadus Salihin, hadith number 55. The chapter is about sidq, always telling the truth, the importance of speaking the truth. So never tell a lie, always tell the truth. Before we move on to the hadith, because of my young friends here, I remember this incident of Sayyiduna Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullahi alayhi, a great mashayikh, one of our great mashayikh. He was a young boy like this friend sitting over here, and his mother sent him to study. He was a yatim, orphan. So his mother was taking care of him. While he was growing up, he wanted to travel to Baghdad to seek more knowledge. So he left his area of Jilan, which is in northern Iran, and he traveled to Baghdad in a caravan. Now on the way, some bandits, robbers, attacked the caravan and looted everyone, took everyone's possessions. They searched Sayyiduna Abdul Qadir Jilani rahmatullahi alayhi's belongings and they didn't find anything. So one of the bandits asked him, have you got anything, any money? And he said, yes, I have money. How much have you got? I have 40 dinars. Where are they? My mother has sewn them in my sleeve over here. Show us. And he took his piece off and there were the dinars. Now the bandit was amazed and he took this young boy to their leader and he said, you know, this boy, he could have lied to us, but he spoke the truth. And this is what happened. So the leader asked him, young boy, you know, you could have hidden those dinars. We wouldn't have found out because we wouldn't search you. So why did you say that, yes, you have these dinars with you? And the young boy replied, my mother has taught me to speak the truth and never tell a lie. And I have never said a lie throughout my life. I have always spoken the truth. And I wasn't going to lie just for the sake of 40 dinars. Why would I lie? I say, okay, you can take it. So the leader was amazed and he said, Allah, but this young boy is so fearful of Allah. He is speaking the truth. We should also have Allah's fear in our hearts and abandon these harakat of ours and we shouldn't do these types of actions. So he did tawbah, and the rest of the bandits also did tawbah and repented to Allah from their sins. This shows the importance and also the benefit of speaking the truth. Over here, in this book, it is narrated that Rib'i ibn Hirash, rahmatullahi alayhi, a great tabi'i, he never spoke a lie throughout his whole life, never said anything lie, and this was famous, that he never lies. Now Hajjaj ibn Yusuf, the tyrant, Zalim, was in search of Rib'i ibn Hirash's two sons, and they were running away, fugitives, hiding here and there. So someone once said to Rib'i ibn to Hajjaj ibn Yusuf that call their father and ask him, he will tell you, he never lies. So Hajjaj ibn Yusuf told one of the police soldiers to go and fetch Rib'i ibn Hirash. So Rib'i ibn Hirash, rahmatullahi, was brought before Hajjaj ibn Yusuf. And the tyrant Zalim asked, "Oh Rib'i, where are your two sons?" And he said, "They are at my house, they've just come to my house." And Hajjaj was just taken aback. And he said, "Okay Rib'i, because of your truth, we will let you off and we will let them off as well." And he let them all off and he pardoned them. So speaking the truth, it has its effects. Hazrat Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi, the great muhaddith, he always spoke the truth, never lied. He was once traveling on a ship, and this person made friends with him, did a little bit of khidmat, nice, got close to him. And then he asked Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi, "What is in that bag?" And Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi said, "Well, that bag is filled with 1,000 dinars, gold coins." So the man became greedy and he thought, "Oh, how can I get this off him?" So he made a plan. They are traveling in the ship, and the ship is in the middle of the ocean, sea. So he thought to himself, "I'll make a claim that someone has stolen my bag of 1,000 dinars. He will be searched and I will be given that bag." So he went to the captain and he said, "You know, somebody has stolen my bag full of coins, and there were about 1,000 gold coins in there." So the captain laughed and he said, "You stupid idiot, who's going to steal in a ship? Nobody steals in a ship. Because they all know if somebody steals in the ship, they can't run away, they're going to get caught. So you stop lying, go away from here." And he said, "No, I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you, go away from here." So he said, "No, you have to search people." So when he pestered the captain decided, "Okay, we will search the whole ship." So they searched the whole ship, and they came to search Imam Bukhari rahmatullah's belongings, but the bag wasn't there. And they searched all his belongings. They didn't find anything. And nobody else had 1,000 gold coins in their bag. So nobody else, so it never came out, never got produced. So the captain told that man that you are a liar. You are accusing people of stealing them. You searched the whole ship, you couldn't find it. And he said, "I don't know what happened, but I did really have it. Go away from here." Afterwards, later on, he came to Imam Bukhari and said, "Imam Bukhari, you know that bag, what happened to it? You said you had that bag, I saw it and it had coins in there." And Imam Bukhari rahmatullah said, "When you went to the captain and you made that claim and you start screaming, I realized that they're going to search now, so I threw that bag into the ocean." "You threw 1,000 dinars in the ocean?" "Yes, I threw it away." "So why did you throw it away?" "Because if I would have got searched, then either I would have had to lie, and I would have had to say something, or that I haven't got it, or I would have had to hide it somewhere, or even if they found it from me and I would have claimed that it's mine, then still they would have given you. Then later on somebody might have said, 'Look, Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi was a thief. Even after I die, somebody would have said he was a thief and he stole. So I don't want this label of kidb and khiyanat and stealing with me. I don't want anybody to think bad about me. So I thought I would rather throw the coins in the ocean, get rid of them, lose that mal, but I don't want the label of kidb on me. So this is how our mashayikh were so careful with regards to the truth. Always speak the truth. Even if your life is at risk, you speak the truth. So when you do this, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala also then opens up ways for you. Many quotes over here in this kitab. Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas and Ibn Mas'ud radiyallahu anhuma says, كُلُّ الْخِلَالِ يُطْبَعُ عَلَيْهَا الْمُؤْمِنِ إِلَّا الْخِيَانَةُ وَالْكَذِبِ. A person can have all ailments, spiritual sicknesses, but two he can't have. One is kidb and one is khiyanat. A mu'min should never be deceptive, a fraudster, trickster, and a mu'min should never be a liar. He should never lie. Might be a stingy, bakhil, he might do hasad, kibr, ujub here and there, but he can't be a liar and he shouldn't be a treacherous person. Ahnaf ibn Qais rahmatullahi alayhi says, ما كذبت منذ أسلمت إلا مرة واحدة. Since I became Muslim, I never lied, except once. فإن عمر سألني عن ثوب بكم أخذته فأسقطت ثلثي الثمن. Sayyidina Umar asked me about a cloth, because Umar was very careful, he was very strict. So he said, this very nice cloth, this expensive cloth, how much did you buy it for? Now I was scared. If I told him the correct price, he might get angry, beat me up. So I only mentioned 1/3 of the price and I omitted 2/3. And that was because I was scared, I didn't know what to do. Other than that moment, I have never lied throughout my life. Also, Ibrahim at-Taymi rahmatullahi alayhi was sitting. Someone came and offered some excuse for something. And he replied, okay, you don't need to say anything more. Because when a person starts making up excuses, he begins to lie. So you need say no more, I have pardoned you, you are forgiven. Mutarrif ibn Tarif says, ما أحب أني كذبت وأن لي الدنيا وما فيها. I wouldn't like to lie even if I was given the whole world and whatever it contains. Malik bin Dinar rahmatullahi alayhi says, الصدق والكذب يعتركان في القلب حتى يخرج أحدهما صاحبه. Sidq and kidb, truth and lie, they both wrestle in the heart of a believer until one drives out the other. So either the sidq will overcome and it will drive out the kizb, or the kizb will overcome and it will get rid of the sidq. So you always have to train yourself to be truthful and upon sidq. So this is some of their wordings with regards to sidq and kizb. We have to be very careful in this manner. Over here we are reading this hadith of Abu Sufyan. It is narrated by Imam Bukhari rahmatullahi alayhi in his Sahih in the beginning in Kitab al-Iman, before Kitab al-Iman. The lengthy hadith that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, after Sulh al-Hudaybiyah and in the period between Sulh al-Hudaybiyah and Fath Makkah, 2 years, he wrote many letters. So he wrote one letter of invitation and da'wah to Hercules Herakl, Qaisar of Rome. And he wrote in that letter inviting him, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, min Muhammadin Abdillahi wa Rasulihi ila Herakl Azim al-Rum. Amma ba'd, fa inni ad'uka bi di'ayati al-Islam, aslim taslam, yu'tika Allahu ajraka marratayn, fa in tawallayta فإن عليك إثم الأريسيين ويا أهل الكتاب تعالوا إلى كلمة سواء بيننا وبينكم ألا نعبد إلا الله ولا نشرك به شيئا ولا يتخذ بعضنا بعضا أربابا من دون الله فإن تولوا فقولوا اشهدوا بأننا مسلمون. He wrote this letter and he sent it with Dihya al-Kalbi radiyallahu anhu, and he told him to pass it on to the governor of Busra, and he will pass it on to Herakl. So he did. And Herakl arrived from Constantinople to Jerusalem for pilgrimage. So Herakl was here, and Busra gave that letter that there is this man in Arabia, in Medina, Munawwara, who is claiming to be a Nabi, and he has written this letter to you. So Herakl said, 1 minute, before I read the letter, is there anyone from that area in our city of Jerusalem? And they checked. And Abu Sufyan ibn Sakhr, Abu Sufyan ibn Harb ibn Sakhr ibn Umayyah ibn Abd Shams, who was one of the leaders of Quraysh, and who had brought the army in the battle of Uhud and in Khandaq. He was on a business trip to that area. So he was in Jerusalem. So so Herakl called them over, and he asked them, who is the closest relative to this man? And they said, Abu Sufyan. So he said, Abu Sufyan, come here, you stand at the front. And he said to the others, you sit behind him. And he said, look, I'm going to ask this man a few questions. If he tells the truth, okay. If he lies, then you wink at me, so I'll realize that he's lying. So Abu Sufyan was scared, he couldn't tell a lie because everybody was there, and he was under oath. And then he asked some question. This man who has claimed to be a Nabi, how is his nasab among you? His lineage, family. Oh, he's from a very good family. And has anybody claimed this Nabuwwat before? No, nobody in our area ever claimed this Nabuwwat. Has there been a king in his family? No, there's not been a king in his family. Those people who are following him, who are they? The leaders or the general public? The general public are following him. Those who follow him, do they renegade and become apostate and murtad after accepting Islam, embracing Islam? And he said no, they never renegade. Once they embrace Islam, then they stay steadfast on it. He said that, have you had any battles with him? And he said, yes. How was your battles? Well, sometimes he won and sometimes we won. Does he ever break his contract, peace treaty? No. He has never broken any peace contracts. But at the moment we have made one contract with him. I don't know what he will be doing with regards to that. And he mentioned about 10, 12 questions like this. Then Herakl gave his observation. And in these questions he asked, what does he tell you? And this is the part of the hadith, that he tells us to worship Allah alone, associate no partners with Allah, and he tells us to pray salah, he tells us always speak the truth, he tells us to join our kinship, and he tells us to be chaste and don't commit zina, fornication, adultery, and these types of actions, stay clean, and these are his instructions. So then he said, I asked you the first question about lineage, and you said he's from a good family. Prophets are from good families. I asked you about anybody else claiming this Nabuwwat. You said no. If anybody else had claimed Nabuwwat before in your area, I would have said this person is a copycat. He is imitating, copying someone before him. I asked you, has there been any king in your area? And you said no kings. If there was any king in your area, then I would have thought that he is after his lost kingdom. In his family was a king, so he's after his kingdom, that is why he's making this claim. And I asked you that who is following him, and you said the general public. Well, the general publics are the followers of the prophets. The shurafa and the leader, they normally stay back. It's the general public who accept. I asked you, do they go back after their accepting belief? And you said no. And he said, وَكَذَلِكَ الْإِيمَانِ حِينَ تُخَالِطُ بَشَاشَتُهُ الْقُلُوبِ. When the bashashat of Iman, the beauty of Iman enters the heart, then there is no chance of going back, because it's so strong and powerful. And then he said, I asked you about your battles. And you said, yes, sometimes you win, sometimes they win. And he said, وَكَذَلِكَ الْأَنْبِيَا تُبْتَلَى. The Anbiya are tested. And sometimes they win, sometimes lose. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tests them in this manner. And I asked about Ghadr. And you said, no, he doesn't do Ghadr, he's never treacherous. He never breaks his contract. And this is, the prophets never break their contract. They are true to their words. They speak the truth. They keep their words. And then he said, you said he commands you to do these things. He said, then he said, bring the letter. And the letter was read. And he said, if the answers you have given me are true, then this man is a true prophet. I knew his time was close and he was about to come. But I didn't know that he's going to come among you Arabs. I thought he would be coming among us, Ahl Kitab. However, this man is a true prophet. If these answers are true, then I say that this land beneath my chair will come under his rule and his kingdom. If I was with him, I would do his khidmat service, I would wash his feet, and I would benefit from it. So Abu Sufyan said, oh, wow. He was amazed. And he said, then Abu Hirakl said, go, take them out of here. So they were left. Abu Sufyan said, لَقَدْ أَمِيرَ عَمْرُ ibn Abi Kabashah. That Muhammad's matter has, gone so high, إِنَّهُ لَيَخَافُهُ مَلِكُ بَنِي الْأَصْفَرِ. That this king of the Romans is also scared of him. Now, after that, Hirakl was so impressed by the letter, because the letter was so nice and simple and it was to the point. Amma ba'd, فَإِنِّي أَدْعُوكَ بِدِعَايَةِ الْإِسْلَامِ. I give you the invitation of Islam. Aslim taslam. Embrace Islam, submit yourself, and you will stay with salamati and peace. You won't have any harm upon you. In this world and in the hereafter. You will stay with salamati and peace in the hereafter in Jannah. يُؤْتِكَ اللَّهُ وَجْرَكَ مَرَّتَيْنِ. Allah will give you your double. Allah will give you your reward multiplied twice, double rewards. فَإِن تَوَلَّيْتَ. Because you are from Ahl Kitab, you used to believe in a prophet before, and now you believe in this prophet, so you will get double sawab. And he said, however, if you turn back, then because of you, the farmers and the laymen and the general public, Arisiyin, they will also turn back. So, don't turn back, otherwise their sin will be upon you as well. And then, Ya Ahlul Kitab, Ta'alaw ila kalimatin, sawa'in baydana wa baynakum. People of the book, come to a word which is equal among you and us. Allah na'budu illa Allah. That we should not worship anyone but Allah. وَلَا نُشْرِكَ بِهِ شَيْئًا. No shirk. وَلَا يَتَّخِذَ بَعْضُنَا بَعْضًا أَرْبَابًا مِّن دُونِ اللَّهِ. And we should not take one another as lords and Rabb, leaving aside Allah. Allah is our Rabb, no one else. So we have to take Allah as our Rabb. فَإِن تَوَلَّوْا فَقُولُوا اشْهَدُوا بِأَنَّا مُسْلِمُونَ. If the people of the book turn back, then O Muslims, you bear witness and say, testify that ishhadu bi'anna muslimun. Be witness, O people of the book, that we have submitted ourselves to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This was the beautiful letter. Hirakl knew that Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is true. However, he gave preference to kingdom over Islam. When he gathered some of the priests and scholars and vicars in his chamber, he came out in front of them, and they have this platform, and everybody is beneath and he is at the top. So he came out in front of them and he asked them, O people, هَلْ لَكُمْ فِي الْفَلَاحِ وَالْخَيْرِ وَالرُّشْدِ. Do you want success and guidance? If you do want this, then I tell you, follow this man, he is a prophet. Now, Hirakl had all the doors closed, locked. So when he said this, they all ran away. Ran away. But when they got to the doors were locked. So Hirakl called them back out. Come back. I was only testing your faith. how strong you are upon your Christian faith. And they said, oh, that is the case. And they all fell in front of prostration and sajda to him. They all prostrated to him. فَكَانَ ذَلِكَ آخِرَ شَأْنِ هِرَقْلٍ. This was his last matter. He didn't embrace Islam. Some say that he did embrace Islam, but no. Later on he came to fight a war in the battle of Muta. And then during the time of Amirul Mu'mineen Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu. If he had believed, then why would he have come in the battle? So this is why Imam Bukhari said he refused to believe and he was not a believer. The part of the hadith which we have over here is وَيَأْمُرُنَا بِالصَّلَاةِ وَالصِّدْقِ, that the Prophet ﷺ tells us to pray and to be truthful. So we have to be truthful. And as Imam Ghazali rahmatullah alayhi says, that truth is not just of words, it's of 6 types. Truth in words, speech, number 1. Truth in intention and motive. Whatever you intend to do, be truthful in your motives, in your aim, in your intention. Number 3, truth in determination and resolve. You know, when you are determined to do something, don't fall back. When you know that this is right, then go ahead, do it. Be determined and be, in your intentions. And number 4, truth in carrying out that determination. When you make a firm intention, then carry it out. If it's good and if it's right, then don't fall behind. Just be strong and go forward and do that thing which you need to do. And number 5, truth in action. Any truth in all your actions, your deeds. Whatever you do, be truthful in your action. Never be a hypocrite. Never say something and do something else. What you say, you must do in all your actions throughout the day. If you say promise, if you make a promise, fulfill that promise. So truth should be in your actions as well. And number 6, truth in matters of faith and religion. In matters of deen, you have to be truthful. You have to only proclaim that which is truth. Never commit any kufriya words. Never copy anything which the other religions say. We are Muslims, we only declare the faith, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluhu. We declare our iman, amantu billahi, wa malaikatihi, wa kutubihi, wa rusulihi, wal yawmil akhir, wal qadari khayrihi wa sharrihi min Allahi ta'ala, wal ba'si ba'da al-mawt. Amantu billahi kama huwa, bi asma'ihi wa sifatihi, wa qabiltu jami'a ahkamihi. This is our faith. So we have to be true in our aqidah and in our faith as well. So this is the 6th type of truth which Imam Ghazali rahmatullah alayhi has mentioned. So this is the reality of truth. Moving on to the next hadith. عن الربيع عن أبي ثابت وقيل بسعيد وقيل بالوليد سهل بن حنيف وهو بدري رضي الله عنه أن النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم قال من سأل الله تعالى الشهادة بصدق بلغه الله منازل الشهداء وإن مات على فراشه. رواه مسلم. Sa'id ibn Hunayf radiyallahu anhu relates that Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, one who supplicates to Allah sincerely for martyrdom, shahadat, Allah will raise him to the status of a shaheed, although he dies in his bed. Man sa'ala Allah shahadata bisidqin. If a person asks Allah for shahadat with sidq, with reality, with correct, firm intention, he really wants shahadat. Although he knows he can't get shahadat, but he said, Allahumma rzuqni shahadatan fi sabilik waj'al mawti fi baladi rasulik, like Sayyidina Umar radiyallahu anhu used to say. Amirul Mu'mineen Sayyidina Umar used to say this dua. Now people were amazed that how can Sayyidina Umar say this? Because shahadat is only attained in the path of Allah. And he says, I want shahadat and I want it in Medina Munawwara. So the Sahaba were amazed and they would say that how can he get shahadat over here? But because he was true, Allah gave him shahadat in Medina Munawwara and he was buried by the side of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam and Sayyidina Abu Bakr Siddiq radiyallahu anhu. And bisidqin means he has firm conviction like that of Khalid bin Walid radiyallahu anhu. Khalid bin Walid radiyallahu anhu was titled Sayfullah, the sword of Allah. He died in the city of Hims in the year 24 after Hijrah. He died in his home. And he said that, people say that you get killed if you go in the battlefield. That's not right. I have not left any battlefield in which I did not start fighting from the beginning and right to the end of the army's rows, and from the end to the beginning, and then from the beginning to the end, in search for Shahada. However, I never got Shahada, and today I am dying on my bed like a woman dies. فَلَا نَامَتْ أَعْيُنُ الْجُبْنَى. May the eyes of the cowards never go to sleep. So Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu did not get Shahada. And our ulama say, why did he not get Shahada? Shaykh Abdul Fattah Abu Ghudda rahmatullahi alayhi says, I went to India and I went to Deoband to check the University of Deoband, in which nearly 3,500 students are studying. So he said, I went to check it out, and I stayed there for a few days, and I benefited from them. One thing I benefited, I thought, if I only learned that throughout the journey, then my journey would have been worthwhile. He said, the one thing I learned was there, I was sat in the dars of hadith, and the teacher mentioned this nukta, this amazing point, that why did Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu not get Shahada when he tried his best to gain Shahada? And then he said, because Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam had given him the title of Sayfun min Suyufillah, Sayfullah. Now if he was killed, then that would mean that the sword of Allah was broken. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took care of the words of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam in this sense that Khalid never got Shahada, because the Prophet said Sayfullah. So because of that word, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protected Khalid bin Walid radiallahu anhu, even though he tried his best, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said no. And since he had the correct intention, Allah gave him the rank of a shaheed. Because the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, "He be sidqin," and this is sidq. He was true in his attempt. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave him the highest rank of shuhada. He joined them with the shuhada because of his correct intentions. So over here the lesson is sidq. Whatever you do, whatever your intention, whatever your motive, be honest, be sincere, be truthful, be true to your words. And inshallah, Allah will reward you. And because of your niyyat, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will reward you. Niyyatul mu'mini khayrun min amalihi is a hadith that a mu'min's intentions are better than his actions. So this is man sa'ala Allah shahadata bi sidqin. Sometimes a person doesn't have sidq. He just outwardly says, oh Allah, give me shahada. Allah is not going to give him. He's not true to his word. This person went to Medina Munawwara. He was sitting in Masjid Nabawi and he was making dua, and he said, oh Allah, give me shahadat in Medina Munawwara, and over here, so I can be buried in Jannat al-Baqi, Baqiul Gharqad. And suddenly some storm came and things started to rumble, and the roof something was falling, some stones from the roof. And in the dua he said, oh Allah, not so quickly, my children are young, I still want to live a bit more. So he did a 360 degrees reverse turn in his du'as. So this means that in his dua there was no sidq. He was just paying lip service. So Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, "Bi sidqin." If you ask Allah with sidq, then Allah will give you the rank of shaheed. Not with just open outward lip service. So this is the meaning of this hadith. Next hadith, Ghaza Nabiyyun min al-Anbiya'i. I think we will pray next week. Okay? Inshallah next week. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to be truthful and always hold on to truth wherever we are, in whatever situation and condition we may be. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdik, nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Allahumma lakal hamdu wa lakal shukru. Allahumma la nuhsi thana'an alayk anta kama athnayta ala nafsik. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وأصحابه وسلم تسليما. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا وعافنا وارزقنا واسترنا واجبرنا واهدنا وارفعنا إنا لما أنزلت إلينا من خير فقراء. اللهم إنا نسألك إيمانا كاملا ويقينا صادقا وقلبا خاشعا ولسانا ذاكرا ولسانا صادقا وتوبة نصوحا وتوبة قبل الموت وراحة عند الموت ومغفرة ورحمة بعد الموت والعفو عند الحساب والفوز بالجنة والنجاة من النار يا أرحم الراحمين. منزول بك كل حاجة. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. صلى الله وسلم على سيدنا محمد وآله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.